Grave robbing for morons. The grainy VHS video footage opens on a young man, clad in a leather jacket, sitting in a dim, cluttered room. In his hands, he holds a skull, dirt-streaked and unsettlingly real. He speaks directly into the camera, offering disturbingly casual advice on robbing graves and selling bones. Known only as Anthony, his face, visible but untraceable, has fueled an internet mystery that, even after decades, refuses to die. Grave robbing for morons originally circulated in the 1990s through an underground scene of bootleg VHS videos, before resurfacing online in 2009 as part of a ripped DVD collection titled Ensuring Your Place in Hell. Since then, it has attracted a relentless community of online detectives. Who was this person? And perhaps more importantly, was he serious? They obsess over every detail. Anthony's New York accent, the grimy skull in his hands, his nervous stammer. Amateur detectives quickly developed theories, identifying potential inspirations and suspects. Some argued that Anthony was mimicking the shocking exploits of Ricky Casso, a teen associated with the occult who committed murder on Long Island just a few years before the video was likely shot. Others saw similarities with horror icons, suggesting that Anthony's crude tutorials were a twisted homage to films like Faces of Death and Evil Dead 2, the latter visible in the background, situating the video sometime after 1987. Then there's the skull. Experts have noted its startling realism, pointing out details like dental implants and a natural layer of dirt, which indicate it may have come from a legitimate grave. Still, questions remain. Could it be a prop? Or did Anthony's obsession extend beyond mere showmanship? In the video, he also describes selling bones to magic shops, a detail that has led some to wonder if there was indeed a black market demand for human remains in New York's occult circles. However, no evidence has linked any real shop to such a grim trade. One theory about Anthony's identity centered around Anthony Casamasima, a real-life New York grave robber who specialized in stealing tomb artifacts. Casamasima, however, was older than the teenager in grave robbing for morons, and he was focused solely on stealing art like stained glass rather than bones. Another theory, more chilling, suggests that Anthony was a figure named Screws, a notorious bootlegger from Brooklyn. Stories claim Screws met a violent end, his body found lying in a dumpster, a fittingly dark conclusion for a figure associated with morbid tales. Despite exhaustive efforts from the likes of researchers on Reddit, no definitive answers have surfaced. The video still lingers online, a morbid relic from a time when videotape lent a different kind of horror to found footage. The Final Fantasy House. A dim, unsettling photo floats through internet forums. A cluttered apartment, dirty dishes crusted with glitter, heaps of clothes on the floor, and a greasy, dark stain on the wall. It's said to be from the Final Fantasy House, an apartment in State College, Pennsylvania, where fans of the video game Final Fantasy VII lived as characters from the game in a twisted mix of roleplay, control, and manipulation. But is it real? Or is this story simply an internet horror crafted to captivate and terrify? In 2005, a LiveJournal user named Genki Crack posted a chilling account of his time in the house. He referred to himself as Sid and claimed he'd been drawn there by an online acquaintance named Joanna, who called herself Genova after a villain from the game. She insisted he was the reincarnation of a Final Fantasy VII character named Zack. According to Sid, what began as a shared love of the game twisted into something much darker. He described being subjected to memory retrieval rituals and confinement in a soundproof room, all to help him remember his fictional past life. Genova, described as volatile and intensely controlling, wore the same purple dress daily and demanded loyalty, money, and unwavering commitment. She managed the house finances and coerced residents into paying for groceries and magical items like crystals and wands. Sid claimed he spent most of his earnings supporting the house's bizarre needs, with garbage piling up in the humid Pennsylvania summer. Other residents came and went, each given a Final Fantasy character name and expected to live out their roles. Sid detailed how Genova pressured him and another resident, Eris, into an intimate scenario, claiming it was part of their past lives. When they resisted, she allegedly laced their food with supposed aphrodisiacs. Sid recalled, quote, "The place smelled like rotting meat and fairy dust, and you could feel your sanity slipping with each day you stayed." Eventually, Sid reached a breaking point. After his shoes were stolen, he fled, barefoot, across scorching pavement. For days, he wandered homeless, describing it as freedom compared to life inside the Final Fantasy house. When he shared his story online, others came forward with similar tales of manipulation, strange rituals, and being trapped in a nightmare of Genova's creation. As the story spread, skeptics questioned its authenticity, dismissing it as an elaborate internet horror tale. Yet the eerie details, unsettling photos, and testimonials from other alleged survivors make it difficult to dismiss. Whether truth or fiction, the Final Fantasy house lingers as one of the internet's strangest mysteries, a dark reminder of how obsessed fandom can blur the line between fantasy and reality. Temple OS. Powering on, the screen flashes with hexadecimal cascades, an 8-bit graphic straight out of the 80s. A jagged, pixelated image of scales, crossed by a sword, fills the screen, proclaiming in blue text, "God on tap." This is no ordinary operating system. This is Temple OS, a computer operating system designed by one man on what he calls a mission from God. Temple OS, once named Lose Those and Sparrow OS, was the life's work of Terry A. Davis, an American programmer whose journey into creation was marked by both profound inspiration and a deeply challenging mental illness. Diagnosed with schizophrenia after a series of manic episodes in 1996, Davis believed he was in direct communication with God, receiving divine instructions to create a third temple in digital form. This temple, he claimed, would allow others to consult God through an oracle embedded within the code. The system, built in Davis's own Holy See programming language and initially released in 2005, operates at a fixed 640 by 480 resolution with 16 colors, specific limitations that, according to Davis, God decreed for simplicity and accessibility. But Temple OS is far from simple. It's an environment steeped in mystery, each function seemingly imbued with a strange and unsettling purpose. Press F7 and the screen displays tongues, words, cryptic phrases that emerge from the code itself. Press it 5 times and a deluge of phrases floods the screen. Davis saw these as messages from God, believing they contained hidden meanings beyond mortal understanding. Davis coded other tools, bizarre, almost playful applications with names like Castle Frankenstein and After Egypt. In After Egypt, users climb a digital Mount Horeb alongside a stick figure Moses, journeying toward a pixelated burning bush. At the summit, the oracle appears, a rapid scroll of color, shifting with each keystroke, offering randomized phrases that Davis described as divine messages. Before this oracle, users are encouraged to pray to God for anything: sand crabs, popcorn, snowmen. What might seem like a simple game holds a darker edge. Davis likened this oracle to speaking in tongues or consulting a Ouija board, each interaction hinting at an otherworldly presence within the code. In isolation, Davis wrote over 120,000 lines of code, bringing Temple OS to life on his own. Living with his parents, he survived on disability, consumed by this digital holy work. But his isolation and erratic behavior alienated him from online communities, leaving him a prophet without followers. Even after his death in 2018, Temple OS endures online, haunting the digital world like a relic from another dimension, a temple that waits for worshippers who will never come. Mortis.com. The screen was black, dead, empty, save for one word: Mortis, Latin for death. No images, no links, no explanations, just the word Mortis in stark, white, lowercase letters. The word seemed oddly placed, as if waiting to draw in curious users. Yet, for all its eerie simplicity, clicking on Mortis led to something more confounding: a login page. What lay beyond it remains one of the internet's early and most peculiar mysteries. The site, Mortis.com, appeared in 1997, though it would only start to gain attention in underground forums years later, quickly becoming an obsession. Hackers and amateur investigators flocked to the challenge of bypassing the login page. Unlike typical websites of the time, Mortis.com housed an astonishing amount of data. Several terabytes were identified, with one file reaching a staggering 39 gigabytes. Back then, this volume of data was unheard of for a website. The site's technical resistance to hacking also sparked rampant speculation. The name Thomas Ling eventually surfaced as the purported owner via domain records, but no one could definitively verify his existence. Allegedly a digital media designer from Australia, Ling was linked to other obscure sites, each equally mysterious and seemingly without purpose. Cthulhu.net, a sister site, bore only a cryptic message: dead but dreaming. Other websites under Ling's name included a dental practice and a law office. Researchers even found the name linked to empty lots and warehouses around the world, all of which were discovered to be abandoned. Each node in the web was a dead end. In the early 2010s, investigators were shocked by a new twist. Someone claiming to be Ling appeared on an online chat. He explained that Mortis.com was simply a repository for personal photos, dismissing the vast storage space as inconsequential. When pressed to prove his identity, he adjusted the text on the site's front page momentarily, before it disappeared again. Yet, if it was indeed a personal photo album, why such an unusual amount of data? And why would a simple photo archive be protected by such a robust security system? The site was then removed amid reports of government involvement. Some users on Reddit suggested the FBI had taken an interest, while others insisted that Ling himself took the site down. Rumors swirled. Was it a front for illicit activity, classified data, or simply an elaborate internet hoax? Soon, even the digital records of Mortis.com vanished, expunged from the Wayback Machine and internet archives. Today, all that remains are fragments of the story, scattered across forums, each retelling blending truth and theory. Markovian Parallax Denigrate. It was 1996, and the early internet's backrooms, spaces like Usenet, buzzed with academic discussions, debates, and even the world's first instances of spam. But on August 5th, a strange message flooded hundreds of Usenet discussion groups. Each message carried the cryptic subject line, Markovian Parallax Denigrate, followed by lines of text that read like nonsense. Jitterbugging, McKinley, Abe, break, Newtonian, inferring, Caw, update, Cohen, air, collaborate, rue. The words seemed to follow a rhythm, almost as if crafted by a human rather than an automated bot, sparking rumors that a deeper message lurked beneath the gibberish. Was this a code, an encrypted government message, or simply an elaborate prank? The mystery grew when the messages were traced to a single name: Susan Lindauer, an American journalist and political activist with a checkered history. Years after the Usenet messages appeared, Lindauer was arrested on charges of acting as an unregistered foreign agent for Iraq. She had also allegedly warned family and friends to avoid New York before 9/11, claiming inside knowledge. While Lindauer denied sending the messages, theorists couldn't resist connecting her to the Markovian Parallax Denigrate. Speculation exploded in online forums. Many thought the spam resembled the Cold War's infamous number stations, mysterious broadcasts used to send coded messages to spies worldwide. Others argued it was merely an experiment, perhaps using an algorithm known as a Markov chain, which randomly combines words. But no creator ever stepped forward to confirm it as either a prank or a test. In the years that followed, the mystery all but disappeared, until the mid-2000s. A Wikipedia page dedicated to the Markovian parallax denegrit emerged, and internet detectives reignited the mystery. Bloggers and curious Reddit users probed every angle, discussing Lindauer's biography and theorizing wildly. But soon after her name surfaced again, the Wikipedia page vanished without explanation. Some believe Lindauer's name was simply scraped from an email list and attached to the messages by accident. Yet for some, the possibility that a woman who dabbled in international diplomacy and espionage was involved in a grand cover-up is just too intriguing to dismiss. Today, over 2 decades later, the mystery of the Markovian parallax denegrit remains unsolved. Even as digital archaeologists dig deeper, the truth about this event might never fully emerge. Which of these early internet mysteries are you going to research on your own now? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching Dark 5. Like and subscribe to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of this world and beyond.